Friendo, Steve here.
Eller.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. We got a packed show today. We're talking AEW Dynamite, first one after All Out. We've also got plenty of news that you guys want us to talk about, including an unfortunate investigation that was opened into a TNA wrestler over the past couple days. But first, let's talk about this. We've got the backstage details, man. A lot of people I noticed on the socials, man, they've been saying, oh, wow, that John Cena really put Triple H's feet to the fire. And on social media, John Cena was like, hey, everybody, don't you want to see AJ Styles versus John Cena? How about it, Triple H? Really, in a shoot situation, right? Calling out the game. But that's not actually how that match got booked for Crown Jewel. Didn't happen that way. No,
the match is official, so we're going to get what we want, which is
we are going to get that
Cena versus AJ. We all want that. But Dave Meltzer explained why the match was booked like it was, as Steve described, seemingly Cena calling out Triple H on social media, saying the following on Wrestling Observer Radio. The transcripts come to you from WrestlingNews.co. Quote, the idea was they tell the people, you're not going to get this match. So to create a demand for the match, they basically told the story that Cena is paying tribute to him because he's only got limited dates, and AJ ain't getting it. So he also said that AJ's promo that was during a commercial break on Raw about certain people don't want me here was part of all this too.
What was the follow up on that one? Like what?
Nothing. It was during commercial break on Raw. He had that promo.
Yeah, right. No, I remember the promo.
Yeah,
it sounded they're going into some like conspiracy theory situation. Who is this leg hair here in our YouTube chat says y'all still use Meltzer as a source? Sad. Well, Meltzer still gets it right sometimes, dude. But in this situation, I can't help but think that he might be using the same sources going in Raw, which is, of course, and I don't mean to out our sources, but I will in this case, a little guy named Captain Obvious.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of obvious that this situation was set up probably well in advance, all decided amongst everybody that, of course, the legendary Cena matches of yesteryear is something that they'd enjoy, that fans would enjoy revisiting. Now that we've only got a handful of dates. I've seen some other names out there mentioned as well. I think one of the names, and I'm not going to source this one because I have no idea. I just sort of saw it on the ether, but Dom Mysterio.
Yeah, seen that
as
as well.
a potential.
Well, as of yesterday especially, there's another name that's been surfacing quite a bit. So if you watched Dynamite last night, probably about 600,000 people did. During the episode.
Whoa! What about the 3 million on Max, Larson? Hold on a second, buddy.
Where do you get those numbers from?
the fucking the same place as everybody else, pulling out of thin air.
There you go. So could the possibility could exist that one of Cena's greatest rivals could return to WWE for a match during John's final run? So Adam Copeland mentioned, of course, he used to be known as Edge in WWE.
Right.
Mentioned on last night's Dynamite that what they got going on with FTR is taking too much of a toll on himself, on his family, so he has to leave. It's like, I have to leave AEW.
Done. All right, so book it for maybe Survivor Series, Saturday Night's Main Event, Edge's return against John Cena. Book it. Done.
Here's the thing.
He's gone.
So, normally I'd be like, all right, people don't pay attention to things like contracts. They just want these matches to happen whether they like legally can because of contracts. So, Cope had an interview with Chris Van Vliet in May of 2024. And during that interview, Cope mentioned that he had about a year and a half left on his AEW deal. So that would mean November of this year, assuming, I don't recall offhand if he missed any time because of injury. That at some point in November of this year, Cope could be able, even if just for one more match, return to WWE to face John Cena.
I would suspect that like Tony Khan would be, hey Cope, you missed a lot of time, and this contract thing, it automatically rolls over. You got injury time. It's automatic. Not that I could do that. We all signed it. I know we
We all
signed it
signed
on what was it called? What's the thing that you do with the PDFs and stuff?
DocuSign?
DocuSign. DocuSign it. It's automatic. It's legal. You know. I don't think this is. I think Cope is staying with AEW, man.
Yeah, it's much ado about nothing. When I saw the bit with him backstage, I was like, oh, he's just scheduled to take a break.
Yeah, I
Take
just
some
felt
time
like they
off.
did the thing with Beth to like give him some time off because he's Cope. Like he's old and he wants to last as long as he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was immediately what I thought. Also, there was a lot of people obviously on social media came to the same conclusion. The Twitch streamer, YouTuber, content creator, Minnie Minerva said, "Oh my God, are we getting this match?" Sean Ross Sapp just replied, "No." So I mean, that kind of just if anybody's going to know, it's probably going to be Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't expect that to be the case. I did see an interesting roadmap that somebody laid out on Twitter that thought thought this was absolutely like a can't miss plan, and it goes like this. He's got AJ in Perth. Then you do Dom for the Intercontinental Championship, and Cena wins that to become like whatever he needs
The
to.
Grand Slam champ, yeah.
Is that what it is? The Grand Slam?
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
he's never won the Intercontinental title.
Okay. And then he drops it to Sheamus in his next match because
That'd be his
Sheamus has
last
never
match,
won it
wouldn't
either. And then they have two more on this roadmap. War Games, he'd be in that somehow. And then one last one. I don't know. How many
Wait.
matches does he have left?
He has 5 appearances left.
Yeah, so 5 appearances, 5 matches.
But wouldn't he face Dom at...
It would be AJ, Dom,
Yeah, Dom.
Sheamus, War
But he's
Games,
got,
and then
he's
his
got
last one.
Crown Jewel.
Yes.
He's got the show in Boston,
Boston,
show in New York,
New York,
Survivor Series,
Survivor Series.
and then his last appearance in DC.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
it'd be
the last
5. Yeah,
5.
yeah. So 5 matches.
I just don't know how. I guess the New York and Boston ones would precede Survivor Series. They probably have to. Yeah, they would. It'd have to be November before.
Yeah, because it's only 2 weeks from Survivor Series to
Yeah,
his
this
last
final
match. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think any of that, why would he win the Intercontinental Championship just to drop it to Sheamus like a day later or whatever?
That
That
makes
sounds
no
like a
sense
bunch of
either.
silliness. But this person on Twitter thought it was a good idea, and they even made like a little graphic and everything. So, shout out to the person on Twitter who's making a graphic.
Was that Sheamus's burner account?
Could be. I don't know. Maybe Sheamus has been experimenting with Canva.
Could be.
A little bit. I mean, Photoshop can be kind of pricey these days. So maybe Canva. I think Canva's free.
At least partially.
I think. Well, I think there's probably a free version of it.
I would think
right?
so. I don't know much about it. I've never used it.
Something like that. Anyway, he got 5 matches. What would you book out? John Cena's last 5 matches. We got AJ in Perth. Boom, done. What's next? In Boston would be the next one, right?
Cena's match in Boston.
Cena's match in Boston.
Let's do. Heck, let's do Edge.
Edge. Okay, cool. Right on. Yeah, let's do that. Do that.
Yeah.
Right.
If Cope
Let me
isn't
ask you. Hold
available,
on.
hold on. If Cope isn't available, they're doing this this TNA invasion, and there's 2 former Edge heads that work for TNA. Wow. Matt Cardona's not back in WWE, but Matt Cardona as Edge is.
I like the idea that like Cardona wants desperately to be back in WWE, and he gets to be in NXT, and he gets to be on main roster, but as Edge, he can
As
never
Edge.
just be himself. Yeah, I think that'd be very confusing. The music goes off, people go crazy for it.
Yeah.
And
That's such a
then-
great theme. I was listening to that the other day. The Alter Bridge Edge theme is so
Dude,
good.
Metalingus?
Yeah, I should have put that in my Mount Rushmore, my personal Mount Rushmore.
It
It's
probably
so good.
belongs on the
good.
on the
I listened to the car the other
Metalingus
day.
Mount Rushmore, yeah, on the Alter Bridge. What's on the Alter Bridge Mount Rushmore? Don't they have enough songs to be on to have their own
Well,
Mount Rushmore?
they have that obviously Judgment Day theme.
Judgment Day theme.
They have other themes.
Who does Cody's?
Oh, that's Downstate.
Oh, they're not the same band.
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm. The guitar player at Alter Bridge is, I think, the guitar player from Creed.
Creed, that's right. Isn't Alter Bridge just Creed without Scott Stapp?
I think so.
Okay, all right. How crazy would that be if like Creed, Alter Bridge, and Downstate all formed like a super group? You think they'd be able to sell out 80,000 in a stadium?
Yeah, maybe.
I think so.
Creed was pretty popular.
Creed was huge.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I've told this story before. I was at the old call center back when I was working, customer service shit. Soulless. Absolutely soulless. And there was a dude there, real nice guy. I think his name was Giovanni. And he was like telling the story of when his kid was born, Anybody was saying he wasn't being gross about it. He wasn't like showing us footage of it. He was like, yeah, the baby came out. I held her in my arms. And then on the speakers in the radio, I heard Creed's
Arms wide open, right?
Arms wide open. And he said, I started bawling. And I was like, really? That song? I didn't say that. I let him go on with the story, but I'm kind of an asshole. So in my head, I was like, what a shit song to fucking cry to. But people like that song,
Yeah.
No weird guy, that Scott Stapp, huh?
I don't know. I don't know anything about him. Other than he was a singer of Creed. That's all I know.
Didn't he have like a sex tape with Kid Rock? Like they're in a bus or something?
I don't know.
Did I just make that up? Oh my God.
I don't know anything about that.
All right. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe somebody can clarify.
Going back,
in the
so
comments.
after Matt Cardona as Edge, we need to revisit the main event of WrestleMania 27. Give us Cena versus The Miz.
Oh, wow. Boy. Okay.
Yeah. Gosh. If only Kevin Owens wasn't hurt. It'd be a great feud to revisit, him and Cena, because that was some good stuff.
Wait, who?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. Oh, that would be good.
That'd be awesome.
That would be good. Yeah.
Cena should have a match against Drew McIntyre. He should have a match against Dom. The last one should be against Gunther.
The last. Yeah. Well, Gunther wins that shit.
Yeah.
Cena needs to go on top.
He's
He's the never seen 17. He's got to go on top.
No, he's going to insist that he loses to Gunther. His last match, he's probably going to insist. If the stuff about him insisting on losing to Brock is accurate in any way, he's definitely going to insist that he loses his final match.
In my mind, I like to think that Cena looked at Brock and was like, Hunter, Paul, let's be honest. Nobody's beating this guy. It's not realistic for me to beat Brock Lesnar. But he looks at Gunther. He's like, I could take him. That's what it really... I wish Cena's like final matches are all like who he thinks he could actually take. That's how he's booking them out.
And he adopts like more of a shoot style.
Yeah, he's like, all right, listen, last 5 matches, basically we're gonna do Pancrase. Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna come out in the MMA gloves.
It's like the natty version of John Cena.
Yeah,
Bloodsport Cena.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't love that?
Oh, that'd be great.
So Cheese Man is with me on the Kid Rock Scott Stapp thing.
Okay, that is a thing.
It wasn't like just them in the thing. It was like them in coordination together.
Yeah.
And then Going Mach 5 podcast says, my kid was born with Papa Roach's Last Resort in the background. That's outstanding. I'm sorry. That's badass.
Wow.
That's amazing. The hospital kicked that on, or did you just bust out your Walkman with like the speaker on it?
A Walkman, you say?
Yeah. Yeah. But one with the speaker on it.
Where you have
you don't have to plug it in. Yeah. You just blast it.
Oh, yeah. So, the little like 2-inch speaker on there.
Yeah. So it's not very loud.
No.
It more just sounds like tinny drone.
Yeah.
But it's like, He's like, push! This is my last resort! Suffocation! No breathing, don't give a... And it's the censored version. Don't give a... And then they're like, come on, cut the cord. He's like, whatever.
Losing my sight, losing my mind.
That was great Going Mach 5. That's amazing. Oh man. All right, man. Well, listen. It's about time. We got sponsors for the show today. So on that note, let's go ahead and talk about the sponsor for the show this week, man.
Let's do it. This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by Tempo. My kids are back at school, and that means there's a lot more going on in the Ann Larson household between all the homework and after-school activities the kids have going on, plus work stuff for me. Planning and preparing a healthy meal at dinner time can become a serious challenge.
You got that right, man. Which is why I love Tempo. They offer pre-cooked real meals that are actually good for you, and they're ready to eat in just minutes. Tempo means that I no longer have to skip meals or order mediocre takeout or pick up something in the drive-thru when my schedule is packed.
And Tempo keeps things exciting with 20 new recipes every week, like herby grilled chicken and green chili beef burrito bowls that are made with nutrient-rich ingredients so you can stay consistent with your healthy eating habits. You know me, Steve. I got some healthy eating habits myself. I need my protein every day. But no matter your goals, there's a tempo meal for you. There's carb conscious, fiber rich, and oh yeah, say it with me, Steve. Protein packed
meals
with up
with up
to
to
30
30 grams.
grams of protein.
I didn't know where you wanted me to stop. For a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply. All right, man, it's that time of the week that we're going to talk about what the friendos want us to talk about. It's what do you want to talk about? This week, though, it's kind of like starts off with a bit of a bummer. So who is this? Ghost Reaper asked us to give our thoughts about the unfortunate domestic violence news about Masha Slamovich and how wrestling promotions are reacting to it.
Yeah. So I guess it was Tuesday, right? Some text messages and photos leaked on Twitter from a friend of MLW and deathmatch wrestler Akira, alleged to be evidence that showed a history of domestic abuse from TNA star Masha Slamovich. There was 114 images and screenshots in total. Tuesday as well, the Takedown on SI reached out to TNA management regarding the allegations against Slamovich, and a spokesperson for TNA replied to the Takedown with the following statement, quote, "We take any allegations like this very seriously and have begun an internal investigation." Shortly thereafter, Masha was pulled from her match against Ash by Elegance at Victory Road. I believe she was scheduled for a match on TNA Impact tonight. That has also been canceled, apparently.
They're running live shows now on TV?
Oh, I don't know.
Or maybe it was like
it was filmed. They decided,
and then they pulled it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's also been pulled from shows by West Coast Pro, Metroplex, and Prestige Wrestling. Masha has issued a statement on social media that I can pull up.
I have it. I have it right here. I'll read this. It says, "Up until the beginning of this year, I was in a toxic and mutually destructive relationship. We hurt each other deeply and in private moments failed to treat each other with the consideration and respect we both deserve. I take responsibility for my actions, and I am sorry, embarrassed, and ashamed of the role I played in our relationship and the way things turned out. In time since, I have sought help to reflect on this time and deal with conflict in a more mature, healthier, and sustainable ways. I apologize to those that I let down, including my former partner. I hope he is able to heal. This will be my only statement on the matter, Masha." This is my own perspective here. The first couple sentences there sort of both sides it a little bit, you know. We were in a mutually destructive. We both, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, this is a bummer of situation, obviously. Fightful Select also had some additional reporting on it because obviously on NXT this week we had a whole TNA invasion. She wasn't there. Now, apparently she was not planned for this at any point. And isn't even in the country. According to Fightful Select, she's in Spain at the moment. Also, it says, "We've not heard of any upcoming plans for her in the invasion angle because of her contract." Says Fightful Select has learned that Masha's contract with TNA is up relatively soon, and it was still up in the air whether or not she'd even remain with the company. According to Sean here, she was scheduled to lose her TNA Knockouts title match against Ash by Elegance, which is now in question. Apparently she's been replaced, I think, by Danny Luna, I want to say. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, you know, what is there to say here beyond the obvious? This is a really sad situation. Hopefully Akira, you know, has the support that he needs to get through this. I mean, having this stuff out there in the first place is pretty rough. But yeah, you know, I mean, Masha, you and I were both obviously really big Masha fans in what we had seen her in, and you know, obviously this at the very least in the short term is doing, you know, is going to keep her probably off shows for a while. In terms of the long term, I don't know. You know, other people have come back from stuff like this, so I guess it just sort of remains to be seen in terms of how genuine she is believed to be in terms of hey, I've changed, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what to expect, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah. You think so?
Also, Lord Blake Whitehouse says Piper Niven's injury and Braun Strowman's new show. Dude, I love for Braun Strowman the idea that he's going to get one of these like just eat a bunch of shit shows.
Yeah. The name of it's great.
What is it again?
Everything on the menu with Braun Strowman.
How is that not amazing?
It's gonna be on the USA Network.
He's such a like charismatic dude. What? It's going to be on USA?
Yeah.
That's great. I'll watch that shit. I have YouTube TV. I can't watch ESPN Plus, but I can watch Braun Strowman eating a bunch of shit. What's your favorite iteration of people eating a bunch of shit?
Oh, it's the Glutton Bowl.
Oh, okay. All right.
Remember that?
Not really.
Oh, it was a Fox special. It was
Okay.
kind of, they aired it around kind of the height of like the eating contest, like the Nathan's hot dog in Coney Island on the 4th of July when that started to get really popular.
Gotcha. The name sounds familiar. I just didn't know the
So
specifics.
they had several kind of eating competitions. One of which was there were these enormous sushi rolls, like feet long.
Oh, wow.
And then every so many feet, it was a whole foot of wasabi.
Okay. All right.
I remember correctly.
Wow. Jesus.
But it was like 8 feet of sushi.
Yeah.
And they were huge, like in terms of the girth.
Yeah. Wow.
That's one of them I remember.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
How like girthy, I don't know. But like how much of that, like you've seen it obviously, how much of that do you think you'd be able to eat?
Oh, not that much.
Because you
I'm
love
talking-
sushi.
I'm
I
talking
love
like
sushi. We both love sushi.
Oh, yeah, great.
Hella
Love
good.
It. Love it. But when you have like an 8-foot long roll and I don't know, I'd guess between 6 and 8 inches in diameter.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
They were enormous. And then every so often there's a whole, I love wasabi,
Yeah, sure.
but a whole foot of it and nothing but that.
That's a bit excessive. Usually you just put some in like a bowl of
Soy sauce.
and you stir it around, you know.
Yeah.
Do some dipping.
And there's other eating competitions in that show, but that's what I remember the most.
Kaufman's got the ones for me, and I think you can agree with this. I always love Man versus Food. It always made me a little uncomfortable because it's like, God damn, the damage this guy's doing. But then he lost like a ton of weight, and he was saying, the only time I eat like this is when cameras are rolling. Otherwise, I eat very healthy.
Yeah.
So that made me feel better because that looked like an absolute nightmare, but it was
Yeah.
fascinating.
And then Kaufman here also mentioned Triple D. Diners, drive-ins, and dives.
That's the gold. Like on the Mount Rushmore, wouldn't that be like foundational?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
right. Yeah, that's fantastic.
If I'm not doing anything on a Friday night, because they just run that on the Food Network all Friday night, Triple D.
I could just my problem with Triple D is it makes me want to eat like that. You know what I mean? And it's like knowing that I can't, it kind of bums me out a little bit. But goddamn, that food looks amazing on that show.
Oh, it looks so good.
There was one that Gene Hackman was on that one time.
Yeah.
You remember that? Made a cameo. He just happened to be in the place.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, come on, you want to do... And it was like a really quick little aside interview thing. But I'm like, dude, Oscar winner, get out of here with that.
I know.
He's an all-timer.
Piper's injury, at first, apparently it's a neck thing. And at first it sounded like the worry was career-threatening, but then I believe Fightful had a thing earlier this week that says there hasn't been an official diagnosis of the severity, but the hope was that, she could recover and continue her career.
Okay. All right. Well, that's, obviously, prayers and good vibes go out to Piper Niven then.
Yeah.
G4 fan says Mickey James and the Beautiful People will be inducted in the TNA Hall of Fame at this year's Bound for Glory.
That's super cool.
Right on. Sometimes, look, I'll be honest with you. I appreciate everybody with their suggestions. I'm going to say this real quick. If you're going to put something where you kind of know that like the only reaction is, hey, that's cool. I don't really know that it's really worth, like somebody in the comments said, Buff Bagwell's getting a new leg because, he lost his, it had to be amputated. And he's doing well, apparently. There's not much more we can add to that beyond, hey, that's good.
Good to hear. Yeah.
It's good to hear.
I mean, I guess I can add a little bit more.
Okay.
I didn't watch a whole lot of TNA Impact during the Beautiful People's run, so I'm not that familiar with their work.
Okay.
I'm familiar with Mickie James.
Yes.
Like a certified legend in the business.
Yeah.
1,000% deserved. In like every wrestling Hall of Fame.
So you just added to that you don't really. So for all you know, like Beautiful People, fuck them. They don't deserve to be in. For all you know.
I'm just not aware of too much of what they did.
Right. And
I think it's great.
I'm with you.
I think it's great, though. I think it's great for them. It's a huge honor. Congratulations.
But do they deserve it? I don't know that they do.
Well, here's the thing. TNA thinks they do. And that's all that really matters.
Is it, though? Is it?
And then congratulations, Don.
And then the other one that some people wanted us to talk about are various Twitter beefs. So one, of course, is Gail Kim had said something like deathmatch wrestling is garbage. And then because apparently there's some like movie director who's doing a documentary about it.
Oh.
And they film like some spot where they do like some ridiculous, falling off a thing. And Brett Lauderdale fired back at saying, I like Gail Kim and she's a legend in the industry. It's just disappointing that blah, blah, blah. And Kenny Omega had said, everybody trying to ask that WWED for the paycheck. Well, that was
in reference to something else.
I thought because the Riho statement, because you're talking about the Riho thing.
Yeah.
Okay, look, my understanding was that the Riho thing was ages ago, and then the Gail Kim deathmatch thing is recent, and Kenny's thing is recent. That's
I just read about the Gail Kim Riho thing and Kenny's response recently.
Okay, I thought
I don't know the timeline. I don't know the timeline of any of that.
Okay, so I thought, okay, well, in any event, I don't know, Gail Kim, because Gail Kim had said something in the past. I think it was in reference to Riho versus Nyla Rose. There was a match. She said, I simply don't find this believable because Riho's much smaller. And she had commented on like the presentation of her in AEW. And then just recently she said the deathmatch thing. And then Kenny said, the TNA people trying to get that WWE love or something like that.
Yeah.
So regardless, like, I don't know. And I think Gail kind of made it a little bit worse by like responding to everything. It's like when you respond to everything, every 2-follower account that's talking shit about you, you respond to all that. It kind of gives crashing out vibes a little bit. So, Oh, okay. So Hizzo Carl does say the Riho thing is recent. Okay. My bad. All right. And then also like Dave Meltzer responding to Stevie Richards and the Kyle Fletcher thing. Like, they're like 50-plus-year-old men. What the fuck do I care what they have to say about it and stuff? I try to, we talked about the Stevie Richards thing, and you and I are both like, I don't, whatever. He's got like, if Stevie Richards says he doesn't have, Kyle Fletcher doesn't have anybody there to learn from, and like Bryan Danielson's there, I don't know that he knows what he's talking about.
Stevie at the time said he didn't have anybody to learn from. Well, Jerry Lynn's there.
Well, he did. He said, well, I guess Jerry Lynn's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Is he said he nobody to learn from, then kind of corrected himself by saying Jerry Lynn's there.
But like Christian Cage is there, Edge. Like we're talking about old people. Christian Cage is there, Edge is there, like Danielson. I can off the top, like if I think of, hey, what are Danielson's best matches? I like it just floods. I can't narrow it down. That's how many great matches he's got. Just top of my head. Quick, give me 5 great Stevie Richards matches. Name a Stevie Richards match.
Wasn't he in one where Terry Funk like dropped the chair on his head?
Probably. I feel like that. Everybody in ECW went through that at least once.
I remember reading about something like that in our pro wrestling almanac we had.
I can get it out. I think it's right here.
Yeah, it's down there. Yeah. That's like the Stevie Richards match.
I got 3 of them, so I don't know which one it's gonna be.
Oh, it's the one we had in our old apartment.
Okay, hold on.
And that's what Kyle Fletcher said.
Is it this one? Is it the 1998 Wrestling Man?
I think so. Whatever one we had in our apartment. Although I thought the cover for that was yellow.
The 1999 Wrestling Man.
Yeah, I think it's that one. Kyle Fletcher in his response to what Stevie Richards said is like
very diplomatic.
But he also said, Brian Danielson is like,
Yeah, MVP recently also said. See, here's the thing. I tell people don't give us this stuff, but then we talk about it for 5 minutes. So maybe keep on doing it. Doom Dragon here says, y'all are my main source for IWC news. Even when there's not much to add, I do appreciate you talking about it. So, okay, appreciate it. Okay.
there we go.
I get it.
While Steve looks for the Stevie Richards story, I'll move on to the next news bit here. Art guy.
We really should do a video on this stuff. The 10 biggest news stories of 1998. Guess what number 1 is? And keep in mind, this is all in kayfabe.
98.
What's the biggest feud of 98?
It was still Stone Cold McMahon.
You got that right. That's number 1.
Art guy here says, since you guys don't cover NXT anymore, this TNA invasion angle, unless you do today. No, we're not today. We're not going to today. So apparently, Trick and Oba are having a title versus title match, and that was interrupted by a TNA invasion.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Where the idea is that they're upset about their top title being held by an NXT wrestler, amongst other things. And so, they've invaded NXT.
Cardona. I saw Santana.
Cedric Alexander.
Cedric. Oh, Cedric was there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cedric was there. And then amongst all the chaos, it was kind of a cool shot. I just saw this on socials. What's his face? Ricky Saints goes and he starts looking at the not North American title. NXT? I don't know. It's one of the titles. Mm-hmm. Like it's the fucking ring from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he has a match against Oba at the next pay-per-view, right?
Oh, that's right. Is Ricky Saints going to dethrone Oba Femi?
Oh, we have the answer here from Clown. Said it was their first pay-per-view three-way Funk, Stevie Richards, Sandman, winner faced Raven in the main event.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Clown says Mance Warner was there, too.
Mance Warner was there, too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's pretty... Well, he's a TNA... He's a TNA guy, man.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was in TNA.
Yeah, he... the gimmick, I think, was Steph DeLander. She was injured or whatever. Mm-hmm. She came back, and she claimed that she got the digital media title in the divorce from PCO. And I think handed it over to Mance Warner, something like that, because they're an item. They're like a real life item.
Yeah.
And so I think they were linked up. So it's kind of cool to see. Eric Young was there too. That's cool. All right, on.
That's interesting.
I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool. I think anything that's going to drum up interest for these companies, I think is good. The partnership seems to be going well. It's still kind of like it's not enough for me to be like, oh, we have to start covering this. But I'll check it out on socials and see if it's cool and everything.
I'll watch clips and stuff and keep tabs on it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lastly here, the Scots says WWE apparently referring to Tony Khan as the Snowman. MVP talked about this week.
Like a Frozen fan, like a Frozen reference. Do you want to build a snowman? Is that what it's in reference to?
I don't think so.
Disney situation. Mm-hmm. Could you explain it to me then, please?
I believe it's a cocaine reference, Steve.
Oh, that's right. I just wanted to hear you say it. What did MVP say about that?
Let me pull that up real quick, because I did read that.
Yeah. Did he say, that was a rumor started by that bastard Speedball?
Let's see. Fightful's got the...
They're still doing that gimmick, too. Speedball is like doing the videos when MVP shows up and they say fuck you to each other. It's hilarious.
So MVP was on TMZ's Inside the Ring podcast and says about it, I guess if anybody in AEW refers to Tony as the Snowman. He says, not us. I don't know where that came from. I don't know who put that out there. The only snowman I know is Jeezy. That's not anything I've ever called him or haven't heard that.
All right. Yeah. I don't know if that's a super corny thing to do. If it's true, that sounds silly. Look, I have no doubt whatsoever that any number of people could be super petty,
Oh, yeah.
And if they have a silly nickname for him, then cool. But, I don't know. I feel like, I'll put it this way. If they have a nickname for the guy, he's living rent-free in their head.
Yeah, I know.
And that
Yeah.
ain't good for them. You know what I
No.
mean? Like they
No.
think about him so much that they have a nickname for him.
Well, I mean, imagine these conversations that go on. Triple H is sitting there chewing his ice and says, "Oh, I'm really going to stick it to the Snowman by running my show opposite his." You know?
Yeah, I don't. It just doesn't sound like. I don't know. It just doesn't sound. It sounds cheesy, like corny to me. If it's true, so I don't know. I doubt. I don't know.
I mean, there's a long history of people being hella petty in the wrestling.
He's sued. I know. Dude, come on. Triple H is hella petty. You know he is.
Yeah.
But it's just corny. You know.
He probably still has a chip on his shoulder for Dynamite beating NXT so bad in the ratings that he lost NXT.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I just feel like there'd be better nicknames. You know.
I don't know. Speaking of Tony Khan, he had a huge announcement on Dynamite last night.
Oh, wait. We got one more thing.
We do?
I do want to bring this up. And it's not in the thing, but dang MQ here in Twitch chat brought it up. It says Jasmine Nix saying that she turned down a new deal with NXT and is now a free agent.
That was interesting because she said she turned it down because it didn't make sense for her financially, as in it wasn't enough money.
She's also been very clear she does not plan on starting an OnlyFans, which was one of the rumors
she said,
out there.
you know, through the years being in NXT, there has been opportunities for her to do things that she hadn't been able to do because of working with NXT, and now she thinks it's an opportunity for her to pursue those options.
Yeah.
So I guess she was a professional soccer
player, from what I understand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know, you're $1 billion company. You know, if that's how they value her, then, and she's like, I can get $25,000 a year somewhere else.
Exactly, without having to take bumps.
50, 60, whatever it is.
Yeah. They're not making more than probably $75,000.
Well, yeah, the Scott says she replied to somebody earlier today or yesterday that her deal was less than 80,000.
Yeah.
I know, look, for some people that's, for a lot of people that's good money, but if you have other opportunities and your value is more than that, then fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably has an idea in her head like, okay, and this is a good place to be as well. Realistically, do I see them calling me up? Like, especially with how loaded she's, like the third most important person in her particular faction. Not even to speak on the rest of the roster. In her own faction, she's the third guy. And so if you have an idea, okay, they're not putting a lot of creative energy into me.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to give me an opportunity because of that to move up. Then, like, what I'm going to do that for 3 years?
I know. Yep. All right, let's talk Dynamite. As I was about to say a little bit ago, Tony Khan announced new championships right before the main event last night's Dynamite. He says this year they're going to crown the very first women's tag team champions, and then Renee unveils the championships. They don't look too dissimilar from the men's tag titles.
If the men were carrying these, I would think that it was just the men's titles.
They got a little extra bit on the front plate.
It says woman. Yeah.
Otherwise, they're pretty close to identical.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, probably the, I don't know, maybe the front runner for these in the main event angle last night. Statlander turned down the old Death Riders for a spot, which I thought that was a really fun, post-match angle.
Oh yeah, when she rapped to Mox and gave him double middle fingers.
I feel like AEW needs more of that kind of stuff.
I know.
Like do a lot more of that kind of shit because it popped me. The rest of the episode, I was like, hey, there's some good wrestling. There's always some good wrestling. We know that.
In terms of story beats, it was kind of meh up until that point.
You're coming off a pay-per-view. Give us some meat. Set up some stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like they didn't really do that too much last night on Dynamite.
Well, there's a lot that happened at the end of Dynamite. There was the Statlander stuff, turning down the Death Riders, but we also had Hangman coming to make the save for Joe and Hobbs towards the end of the show. It was at the end of the Claudio Hobbs match. And then they announced next week it's going to be the Death Riders against Joe Hobbs and Hangman. So it's interesting after having a couple title defenses that now seemingly Hangman is back potentially in the Death Riders orbit. And I mean, if we're gonna just kind of speculate, um, so Darby continually is saying, "I'm gonna take everything from you, John."
Yeah, John.
Now, is there a possibility? So Darby and Moxley are gonna have an I Quit match at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
You gotta expect Darby's probably gonna win that one.
Yeah, there is it in the Pacific Northwest again?
No, Wrestle Dream's in St. Louis.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
So if they're tied 1-1, they push on the rubber match for a little bit. Do you think there's a possibility that Mox gets that title back off Hangman just so Darby can win it shortly thereafter?
That'd be interesting. I wouldn't be opposed to it if it was a cool sequence of events. I don't think I think Hangman. There is kind of a lot going on there. There's that possibility, sure. MJF is going to go away and come back, in his words, more dangerous. So you got to think he's going to be in the equation. Mm-hmm. Maybe he can take it off Darby if that sequence of events happens. I just don't know if they want a lengthier reign for Hangman, which I do not think is necessary. I mean, we saw last night, besides him doing that, he had his own little open challenge with Lee Moriarty, although they announced it beforehand, so it wasn't a real open challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's a possibility. I don't know. It's so like, I don't know if the priority is, hey, let's have Hangman, just beat really good wrestlers who are on the come up. We saw it with Fletcher, obviously. We saw him, with Lee Moriarty yesterday. So is that going to be the template, or are they going to have him involved in more marquee stuff? I don't know.
It could be a situation where Hangman wants to be a fighting champion, has these open challenges, wrestles a lot on Dynamite, maybe Collision too, with the idea that over time it's going to wear him down in advance of the Mox match. Mox takes advantage, especially now that Death Riders kind of bolstered their ranks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mox gets that title back. Mox, the transitional champion, to get the title on Darby.
How would that make him? 4 or 5 time? 4 time?
5 time, I believe.
5 time? Wow.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's a possibility. Sure. I mean, given Darby's interview that he had recently on the Steve-O show, maybe he would resist something like that. Maybe he's like, we don't need that. Me beating Mox is good enough. Maybe. It'd be cool for Darby at some point to get that title.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it'd be anytime soon, though.
So I'm going to take us on a brief tangent here because this is funny.
Cool.
I just saw this come across. This is from WrestleVotes. They're reporting that people within WWE were stunned by ESPN's grade for WrestlePalooza.
What?
And apparently, this is from WrestlingNews.co's write-up for it. It says the report states that people within WWE were openly wondering why the Sports and Entertainment Network would want the online stigma of a negative review for what they considered a fairly ordinary or fairly standard WWE event.
Wow. That's hilarious.
And apparently the internal reception for WrestlePalooza was that the show was solid.
Yeah, because who's going to say anything otherwise? Who's going to say anything otherwise? Hey, this is going to be 4 quadrant. And then it's like, hey, what do you think of this? It was good. Solid. Hey, Hunter.
I can hear Bruce Pritchard saying that. Oh, solid show.
Solid
did
show.
What it had to do.
It did what it, yeah, that's exactly right. It did what it needed to do.
It did what it needed to do.
And then they're shocked, I tell you. Boy, these people, they hate the honesty.
Well,
oh my God, why would they do that?
Control every aspect of the narrative.
Oh my, why would they do that? Maybe it was just how the dude felt. Yeah. It is. I mean, look, I'll be honest. When I woke up and I saw this, Steve was stunned too. I was stunned too. I was. That ESPN, because you just don't expect that level of honesty anymore. It was a very pleasant surprise. Mm-hmm. But you also couldn't help think that the reason why it got through was maybe higher ups at ESPN were like, yeah, that was kind of this is the difference. I believe that most serious entities like ESPN, they are going to pay attention to what the online crowd says because the online crowd is just the crowd now. Mm-hmm. It's like the people who are online tweeting stuff. It's a reflection in many cases of an overall sentiment, and it matters to your brand.
Yeah.
So for WWE to continually say that the most engaged fans online we don't listen to them. If they like a thing, we think that it's probably not good. And if they don't like a thing, we think it's probably good. Bruce Pritchard literally said that once before.
Yeah, he did.
On the podcast.
Yeah.
And for WWE to say, oh, no, we're not listening. But then he goes on there and says, we are listening to the fans when booking the Cena style stuff. You can't have it both ways. Mm-hmm. And so I have no doubt that ESPN understood, like, whoever is, in the main position there that gives a damn about this stuff, no doubt that they're listening to what the online critique is. That's the fastest way to get a read on what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, also, ESPN gets levied with criticism for having so many huge deals with all these, sports leagues that they then have to report on.
Yeah. Conflict of interest.
And to establish some degree of journalistic integrity here with this WWE deal right out of the gate. Maybe that had some bearing in it too.
Let me ask you this, and it's for pure speculation. When the people at ESPN's website, editor-in-chief, whatever it is, I don't know, got this review from Andreas Hell, how far up the chain do you think it was? Because, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the structure is like there when it comes to this is how much freedom ESPN's website's editor-in-chief has in terms of running stuff.
Or for that matter, how much, if there's any directives given to the writers in terms of what's off limits and what's not.
Like, this is how far you can go in criticizing something.
Yeah, don't know.
I don't know.
Or simply a situation is, all right, your assignment, write a review of the show.
Yeah, and we're going to, and, we like you. We have a good relationship with you as a writer. We know that you're credible. We're going to run whatever you give us.
We're going to run it, whatever you give it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That honestly is the most interesting aspect of this to me.
Yeah, it is. Kind of all the politics of all that. Yeah.
Like, does $1 billion deal factor into your writer writing up a review on WrestlePalooza? Mm-hmm. That's interesting to me. I have no idea. But that's fascinating.
It is. It absolutely is.
And it's just WWE. It's just, dude. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, they want to control every aspect of the narrative about what goes on in front of cameras and behind it.
Yeah.
They want to control every aspect of it.
I love that.
Every aspect of it.
Dave Matushek has a left field question here with a super chat.
All right.
It says, would you watch the Donald Duck episode of Hot Ones?
Sure.
I've seen like little bits and pieces of, I think Hot Ones is best ingested, if you will, through like little clips, like Matt Damon talking about DVD distribution.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Idris Elba going, fuck. That's awesome. That's hilarious.
Or was it Jennifer Lawrence? The clip of her be like, oh gosh, this is so hot. Like nearly in tears because it's so spicy.
She says something like, why would you do this to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Getting on back with our AEW Dynamite review here. Statlander, new women's world champion. She's a fighting champion also.
This is the thing that seemingly until they decide what they want to do for WrestleDream outside of Mox versus Darby, because they had basically 2 open challenge matches last night.
They did, yeah.
Hangman versus Lee Moriarty, Statlander versus Mina. And then you had Kyle Fletcher throwing out a challenge to Hologram for the TNT title. Not exactly an open challenge, but it's a situation where, hey, we want to have good matches on TV. Not sure what stories we want to do, maybe building up to WrestleDream. So let's do some sort of challenge thing. And so we get our champions on TV in matches. And then maybe we can figure out what we're going to do from there.
Yeah, I think, and we need more, maybe because NFL's back on now, that Tony Khan has to take a step.
Oh, that could be.
That's all I can think, because I was watching last night and I was like, Hangman versus Lee Moriarty. I love Lee Moriarty. I think he's great. I don't watch Ring of Honor, but everything I've seen of the dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And it was a really good match. But it's like, man, this is pro wrestling, like you got to give us some meat here. You got to give us some story here to make me care about what happens next. And I thought the main event post-match angle stuff, that was good. I thought that was a really great step, but Hangman's the dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to know what's going to go on with that. Just really quick to backstep here, and Amir not only subbed to our Twitch, but also gifted a bunch of subs here.
Oh, thank you so much.
And Amir makes the point of the ESPN thing. Says ESPN has been reviewing and criticizing every major sports league since the beginning. Why would WWE expect differently? Because WWE is narrative fiction. It's not a real sports thing. And that's why it's like, really? You can't just give us a B?
Yeah.
You can't say what a promising start and it's only going to get better from here.
Yeah.
If I had $1 billion deal, that's what I would expect. I don't know, because it's stories. That's why. That's my opinion. Anyway.
It's not a genuinely competitive activity like.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Pretty much all the other sports
Yeah.
featured on ESPN. Yeah, there's that aspect to it. There's the possible conflict of interest with ESPN being involved in broadcast deals with a bunch of leagues that they then cover.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And whether they can offer honest criticism about said leagues then.
Yeah.
There's
anyway, sorry, getting back to it. Thank you for the subs, by the way, Amir.
Yes,
really
so
appreciate it. So we had this really great match between Statlander and Mina Shirakawa. It was really good stuff. Really good. Statlander got the win again. I think, what was it, like the seatbelt? Yeah.
Yeah, she was seatbelt game because Yuta comes out at the beginning again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess offers some advice or whatever. Before the match, we had interviews with Statlander and Mina. The Statlander one was interesting because Harley was there. And, Statlander was kind of her usual, energetic self, talking about facing Mina. And then Renee asks about her association with the Death Riders, and she gets really serious.
Mm-hmm,
she just glares at Renee and says, things move really fast when you make decisions.
Which is something that Mox has said in the past in reference to maybe Daniel Garcia, something like that. I don't know. In any event, it was a Mox reference. And so I was like, oh, shit. So we have the match. And like you said, Yuta comes out, gives her some advice before the match begins. She gets the one with the seatbelt. Really good match. Yuta gets in the ring to celebrate with Stat. Harley gets in the ring, too. The Death Riders show up with that awesome theme song. By the way, somebody had offered this up to us over at the WrestleJuice subreddit, said, I think Steven Larson really liked this. And it's a black and white compilation of Sid dropping power bombs on people set to the Death Rider music.
I could see how that'd be pretty cool.
And it is really cool. And I was like, oh, man, that Death Rider theme just jumped up in my my power rankings there because of that. So anyways, they show up. They surround the ring. And Mox gets in there. And he stands across from Statlander and he's smiling. He's like, yeah, good. Look at you, champion, good. Thinking that she's about to join. Yuta gives Statlander a big hug, raises her hand. Harley looks like she's kind of disconcerted here. Then out of nowhere, Statlander drops Yuta with a clothesline. Marina gets in the ring, tries to clothesline Statlander. Stat ducks it, and then runs right up to Mox and puts double birds right in his fucking face.
That was great.
He's steaming. And then her and Harley jump the barricade, escape through the crowd. And it was great. It was like a bank heist situation. They're like getting out of there because they know they're about to get
Statlander's in the crowd looking back towards the ring and doing this again.
And she does the middle fingers again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really fun angle. And then, this is where the production needs to sharpen up a little bit, because Darby, when Darby does any sort of run-in or anything that isn't his actual wrestling entrance, they need to get a version of a song that just kicks in when the song really kicks in after the intro, because he meanders out there like his intro kicks in. Mm-hmm. 30 seconds later, he meanders out there. He's got a flamethrower with him, like one of his custom deals. And so he's like, this thing is like bursting up and everything, and like spitting out all sorts of whatever the fuck. And then, Mox is freaking out. He's still, they want to attack, but Darby points it at them and shoots it a little bit at them. And then they stumble back. Mox cartoonishly falls over the ring steps.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not.
I don't know. Maybe not. But it was a great visual regardless.
It was.
And then, Death Riders get over the barricade to escape fire. And Darby gets up on the apron. And he gets on the mic and he says, John! And he was extra angsty.
Yeah, he was.
His face just completely like numb, it looks like. Like he had a bunch of, Novocaine or something. He says, John, when do you realize I'm never going to quit? You and me, Wrestle Dream. I quit match. John. All the fire and shit. So, and then you see Moxie stewing. He's like,
he does the.
yeah, he does that shit. So I like it. It's cheesy as hell, but I love that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I love that kind of shit. John, when are you gonna know? Don't quit.
Is this going to replace? Is John going to replace John?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. John has got such lore behind it.
It does. Elsewhere on Dynamite, Orange Cassidy is back.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mark Briscoe pretty much said as much. He's like, I'm not going to reveal who the mystery partner is for me and Hologram. But then he made like 3 references to Orange Cassidy.
So many references to Orange
and
Juice.
then Kyle O'Reilly made another one.
Yeah.
But right after that interview, we get a short little cloned video package, real brief.
Yeah, man, they keep on teasing. It's the same thing every single time. Same thing.
Is it the same kind of verbiage on the screen from like
the same exact
prompts?
thing, man.
All right.
When's Clone showing up?
Soon, apparently. So later on, we get that trios match. We get Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero taking on Mark Briscoe, Hologram, and Orange Cassidy. So before the match, Don Callis drops a promo, says, I've had a lot of artwork over the year, and he shows it on the Tron. And he says, but I'm working on my masterpiece today. I'm going to unveil it. Roll out my masterpiece. So you have a couple of production people roll out what you assume is a giant canvas. And so they unveil it. They pull the curtain off, and it's Orange Cassidy there. Then half his video package were missing the media assets, so I had the Premiere Pro Media Offline screen.
Every editing nerd that watches wrestling marked out for that, as did I. I thought that was great. That was so good. What a weird niche reference.
I know.
That only people like us understand.
Assuming it was intentional.
Oh, bro, look. This would not shock me if it was on this would surprise me if it was on anybody else. I'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because of AEW's presence. But because it's Orange Cassidy, it makes total sense.
So Hologram got the win, pinned Hechicero after Orange hits an orange punch. Hologram hits the portal bomb. So then Kyle Fletcher walks out on the ramp. He says at All Out, he proved he is a main eventer. And while he wasn't ready that night, he will be soon. He's a future world champ. And he says, Hangman was right about one thing. The next morning is the worst I've ever felt in my life. But then I looked in the mirror and remembered who the hell I am. And then he challenges Hologram to a TNT title match. Says, you got the longest undefeated streak of anyone in AEW history. After tonight, you're 34-0. Or should I say 34 and scared of Kyle Fletcher. It's the only reason you got that streak, so you never faced me. So that happens next week on the 6th anniversary of Dynamite. That'll be a good match.
If you're is it gonna be a great match? My question, of course, is Clone gonna wonk that finish? Yes, we're finally. That's the more important thing. Is next week? I feel like we definitely should get the debut of Clone.
Yeah, I think we will.
Very excited about that. Sorry, Hologram, you're going 34-1. And then you're going to launch into what I'm already dubbing feud of the year.
There we go.
Clone versus Hologram.
It's late into 2025.
Maybe Tony Khan. This is my hope. He's focused so much on writing the great American novel of wrestling storylines.
Clone versus Hologram.
That he's like, Hangman, he could be open challenge. Yeah, Statlander, open challenge.
I don't care about any of his other stuff.
None of this other shit, man. Hey, Darby, go get a flamethrower. People go crazy for that. I'm over here busy writing. He's got like 800 pages already. It's like Mario Puzo, right?
Yeah.
Like this shit's going to be like The Godfather. Bloodline, that's going to look like Ace Ventura 2 when Nature Calls compared to this shit.
Yeah.
Hologram versus Clone. This is it, man. This is it. Yeah, this is going to be the Apocalypse Now. This is going to be Citizen Kane. Mm-hmm.
So, as mentioned, Hangman had a match against Lee Moriarty, open challenge for the AEW World Championship. Before that, Hangman had a promo. He said Fletcher took him to his limit, but he's still champion. He said, now, Kyle, don't disappoint me, because I'm excited to see where you go in the months and years to come. He says, tonight I asked to fight the best wrestler the city has to offer, and that's Lee Moriarty, because they're in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Lee, tonight you're fighting for the top prize in pro wrestling. Bring your A game. So we have a Lee Moriarty video package ahead of that match. And it's a really good bout. It's really, really good. Hangman gets the win, so Moriarty locks on the Border City stretch. Hangman escapes that, hits a clothesline, falls with a deadeye to get the W.
I feel like we need a moratorium on "You took me to my limit" in promos. It's like up there with "I'm going to put you on notice."
How about this?
Go ahead,
What if
please.
rather than just saying it, they kind of sing it in the melody of the Eagles?
Take it
to the limit.
To the
You
limit.
took me to my limit.
One more time. God, that's a good one. That is a good song. Is that best Eagles song? What's best Eagles song?
Oh, one of these nights is best Eagles song.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Boy, I don't know.
Boom, 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 boom. It's a good bass line.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Ain't no, Lion Eyes might be my up there for me.
Yeah, that's all right. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
There's some
Oh
good,
no, the one the what is it? I Can't Tell You Why.
Yeah.
Oh, that's up there.
Boom,
Bow,
boom,
bow,
boom,
bow.
boom, boom.
Another good bass line. Doom, doom.
Timothy B. Schmidt sang that.
Timothy, yeah, he's the man.
Yeah. From
Yeah.
Sacramento, too.
He's from Sacramento. That's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, my dad, he liked all the offshoots of the Eagles. He wasn't like overtly an Eagles guy, but he had all the Timothy B. Schmidt albums.
Yeah.
I always like the
Hotel
name.
California is my dad's favorite song. I've probably heard that song thousands of times in my life.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It holds up, but if you've heard it that many times.
That's why I appreciated when they did the Hell Freezes Over reunion. They did Hotel California acoustic.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little different.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, whenever you watch like one of their live performances, it's like, God damn, you have a lot of guitars in that band right there.
Yeah.
They're like 5 guys with guitars.
You had Glenn Fry and Don Felder and Joe Walsh. Yeah.
Yeah. 3
Yeah.
dudes. And then you got
Yeah.
your bass player.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Randy Meisner? Is that what he is?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
fired and they brought in Timothy B. Schmidt. You know why? Because Glenn Fry thought that Meisner wasn't hitting those high notes like he should.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine? Could you being a fly on the wall in that bunch of fucking alphas?
The egos in that band.
The Egos and the Eagles.
Yeah, I call them the egos instead. Huh? So we mentioned earlier about Cope leaving AEW. He's probably not leaving AEW, but anyways, Renee's looking to get a word with Cope. He walks by. Renee asks about Beth's condition. He says, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it now. He walks to his locker room he was sharing with Christian. And Cope says, I can't keep doing this to my family. I got to go, and I don't know if I'll come back. And so Christian ponders that for a second and says, well, I don't have family anymore, so go take care of yours. And Cope looks at him and says, you do have a family.
Yeah.
Saying he's his family. They shake hands.
I really liked this segment. I thought it was just really well done. They got, obviously they got great chemistry. And they didn't try to muddy it down with like Christian Cage doing his villainy character thing,
No. It didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
It was efficient in terms of delivering the story beat in the most effective way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought this was really good. I do not believe though that he's going to go to
Wrestle
WWE.
John Cena just to come back.
I don't think that's going to happen. No.
So later on, we get an FTR interview in the ring. Shivani's in there. So FTR comes to the ring with Stokely. And Cash says, this is never supposed to happen. Our intention was just to beat Cope and Christian and send them on to their retirement. And then we would go and be focused on the tag titles. He said, but Cope couldn't handle that, so he brings Christian into this. He brings his wife into this, into our business. So if there's anyone to blame, it's you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So Stokely takes the mic and says, I forgive Beth for what she did to me at All Out. He said, I wasn't running up the ramp to attack Beth. I was running to introduce myself. Instead of a handshake, I got a spear. And it didn't even hurt. But she carried me up to the back. I allowed that woman to spear me. They needed Beth to win because FTR is the greatest tag team of all time. So then Dax says, I was advised to come out here and apologize. He says, I'm not going to apologize for dropping Cope on his frail neck, for dropping Cage on his CTE-riddled brain. He said, but Beth, I hope you know that I would never purposely hurt you. He says, you attacked my best friend, and when I tried to intervene, I got punched in the nose, and I thought it was cope. He said, because my eyes started tearing up. Idea that he couldn't see right. So he said, so I picked you up and dropped you on your head by accident. I learned a lesson on Saturday, and then Willow interrupts.
Yeah.
She was great. This was awesome. She says,
this is good stuff.
She comes to the ring and says, wow, what a great apology. Says, if you wrestled as well as you lie, maybe you would have won it all out. And she says, I'm not here to talk about you. I'm here to talk about an inspiration. Beth Copeland. Women like Beth inspired us. Women like Beth are why I became a wrestler. Is why I would do shows around the country and without knowing how I was going to get home. And said, Beth is the reason that I came back from a broken neck to become all elite. She says, women like Beth are the reason that women like me don't take shit from guys like you. Nightline got a great response. It was awesome. So if you want to try to that apology with a little more sincerity, you can look at that camera over there, do it, or get out of my ring. And then Stokely's like, Willow's past her bedtime. She slaps him. Dax steps up to her, then Jet Speed run in to make the save. Jet Speed then fend off Dax and Cash, send them out of the ring, and then FTR pulls Stokely out and take their leave. So I guess we're getting Jet Speed versus FTR.
Yeah, that sounds right. Do you think, is there any chance they're going to give us, like, I didn't see if they advertise this or not, but there's 3 people with Jet Speed and Willow, 3 people FTR and Stoke. You know, I mean, obviously it wouldn't be like a mixed tag situation necessarily, but, you know, Stoke and Willow going out would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to get that or not. I could see AEW doing something like that, though.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
MJF also had a post all-out promo. These are always so good.
I know. Like when he does these post-match promos or those little kind of short things backstage, again, it's just a much more efficient use of his time. I don't know why they don't do this more often as opposed to, hey, Max, here's 12 minutes, go talk.
They do this. I mean, they do it. I know why. It's, you know, the live, he doesn't wrestle very often. And so the live crowd, they want to get their MJF fill. So they have him go out there. But there is such a stark difference. Like, I think it does sort of illustrate why, he's probably going to do fine in Hollywood because when he's in a cinematic environment, the camera loves him. And look, he's a really good in-ring promo guy. It just, sometimes it's kind of like the same shtick over and over again. But these things, they're so good. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but he sort of goes over what's happened to him over the last, year or two. Mm-hmm. And he says, I'm not MJF. I've just been playing MJF. He says, I've made so many mistakes trying to snap out of it. It creates doubts. He says, all these thumbtacks on me, they're not tacks. They're doubts. Every single one of them. He even puts one in his mouth and he spits it out. He says, when I come back, he says, I'm not going to come back until I'm the most dangerous I've ever been. When I come back, I'm taking back my spot at the top of pro wrestling. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to do it my way. Very effective.
He sings a couple lyrics from My Way too. Yeah. During the course of this. Yeah,
it's good stuff. I don't know how long he's going to be gone. Probably going to go film another movie or something like that.
Yeah, he's doing that Violent Night too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Also, we had Powerhouse Hobbs facing Claudio. Pac cost Hobbs this match. Hobbs hits Claudio with a body slam. Hobbs must hit Claudio with at least half a dozen body slams during this match. There's a stretch where he's just body slamming him repeatedly.
Yeah.
So Pac gets on the apron. Hobbs grabs him, and then Claudio hits Hobbs with an uppercut, follows with a small package to get the win. Of course, Death Riders, they start beating up on Hobbs. Joe runs to ringside to chase off Pac. Hobbs then clotheslines Claudio out of the ring. Joe walks with Claudio right as Yuta and Garcia get in the ring. They attack Hobbs. Joe gets in the ring, but he's overwhelmed by the Death Riders, and that's when Hangman makes the save, clears the ring, and then checks on Hobbs and Joe, and then they made it official, the 6-man tag next week.
Yeah. We also had the GOA. What are they called again? They're the
Gates of Agony.
Gates of Agony. Yeah. They're the Demand. 2/3 of the Demand. Got a tag title match against Brodito. As you'd figure, this is a really good match. They had a little promo in advance. Ricochet says, people thought the Hurt Syndicate was going to take us out, but we were the ones who put them down. We were going to go after the trios titles, but since Shibata's not cleared, we've got a tag title shot. Ricochet was on commentary. Really good match with these guys. Ricochet tried to get involved at one point, didn't work out because Khan got hit with a 21 plex after Brody hit him with a suicide dive. There's a couple of direction issues with this match. They were missing stuff left and right.
Yeah, they were.
But yeah.
And then finally, we had a video package about Jurassic Express Reunion, narrated by Jack Perry, which, in just kind of nebulous terms, he explained why the reunion is happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it. He was well put together. But
yeah. Their production packages are a little bit better.
Yeah, they're usually
these
top
days.
notch.
Yeah.
All right, you want to answer some questions?
Would you like to answer some questions?
Answer some questions. Let's see here.
Ronan the Analyst says, with Triple H comparing WWE to movies, what movies should begin with the cast walking onto the set from their trailers?
What a great question.
That is a great question. So I saw a clip with Mark Maron talking about what it was like to work with De Niro on Joker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he said, De Niro doesn't even have his own trailer. They basically build a small apartment on like the lot for De Niro. So it like goes beyond trailer. So I want to see kind of like a crib style intro where De Niro walks us through his little mini apartment, prefab apartment.
Yeah.
And then he walks to the set. I'd like to see what the reaction is when he walks in onto a set, Do people are they on eggshells around him because he's De Niro? I got a bunch of questions about that. So I'm going to say any De Niro movie.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I guess if in a humorous way, although they lose some aura, you start like a Marvel movie.
Oh my gosh.
Larger than life superhero characters.
Yeah.
Just walking around on set.
Yeah, I know, but these days, I think they just green screen even the costumes are green screened in some of these.
So you have everybody in these green backgrounds with these green bodysuits on.
Yeah.
Just walking around set.
I would like this because there seem to be so many weird chemistry and interpersonal issues. The Fast and the Furious stuff, the ones with the Rock in it.
Yeah.
Because
Vin, yeah.
Who shows up last? I feel like whoever shows up last, they think they're the big dog, right?
Yeah.
So it's is there a weird politicking to decide who gets to the set last? Is it decided that they have to get there at the same time? All these fragile egos at play.
And all the politics at work. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Gregory Mullen says, give pay-per-view or PLE names as ice cream flavors.
All right, we'll just start off with WrestlePalooza.
Well, you can do the Rocky Road to WrestleMania.
Oh, so wait, we're giving...
the way I interpreted this is take a pay-per-view name and do an ice cream pun.
Okay, all right. I'm cool with that. I guess my counter to this is what makes this person think that we're clever enough to do that?
That's the best effort right
That's
there.
Great.
Rocky.
No, I was A.
No,
I can't beat that.
Yeah.
And it's not even very good, but it's
it's not.
You got something. You wrote something down. I didn't even do that.
Yeah, right.
I showed up to class. My shit's blank. It's here, teacher.
Steve showed up, says, dog ate my homework.
Yeah, I got nothing. They're like, Steve, this is a little Columbo style notepad. Are you a detective now? I'm like, no, I'm not smart enough to be a detective.
Alex Foster here says, since Solo said he wanted Tonga Loa to win some gold, will Tonga Loa be the next tribal chief if he becomes champion?
I hope Tonga Loa just got on eBay and bought some cheapo, replica.
It's look, Solo, I got a championship.
Yeah, now can you leave me alone? You're putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm Tonga Loa.
That is a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. It's I'm Tonga Loa. What do you want, dude? What was the question? I didn't even answer the question.
Will Tonga Loa be the next tribal chief then if he is champion?
What championship would sort of get him even close to being tribal chief?
I think the It's got to be the U.S. title.
If you get the U.S. title, then I think, hey, okay.
Maybe at that point. Nate Cruz says, what occupational gimmicks would you guys use as wrestlers?
Great question.
You going to do something like Stevie Turner tried to do with the streamer?
Yeah, that could work. I was thinking this. So I've been pushed a lot. You and I, we've been trading a lot of basketball Instagram reels, usually comedic ones.
Yeah.
One specific series that I've been thrown at a lot, and it's goals, is there's an 85 plus league.
Mm-hmm. I've seen those, yeah.
So we would be a couple of dudes in the 85 plus league, but obviously we forged our documents.
Yeah.
We're balling up these dudes who are approaching 90,
Yeah.
right? But we're like mid 40s. We're heels, obviously, bad guys.
Yeah.
So that's our vocation, and we make money doing that.
Also basketball themed.
Good.
One of those leagues that the rim's only 8.5 feet high. Somehow we start a professional league like that. And so we bring an 8.5 foot rim out to the ringside area.
Yeah.
And the whole goal of our match is to take the match to the floor and dunk on our opponents.
And dunk on our opponents because it's 8.5 feet. Yeah, that's good. I like that a lot. Oh, dude, I'm so glad he brought this up. Dave Matuszek. With AEW signing up bacon-related trademarks.
Yes.
Specifically for Bacon Brawl. Do you see possible pieces of bacon at ringside in the future?
What I want to see, honestly, is the graphic. Bacon is all elite. That's what I want to see.
That's amazing.
And
That's
you have
great.
just that slice of bacon. Just
so good.
Slice of bacon. Bacon is all elite.
It wouldn't be like a plate of bacon?
No, just a single
slice.
Single strip of bacon,
Strip, yeah. That's
but
good.
I don't know what, is this?
Would it be like super crispy or just like,
I don't know.
Okay.
I want to know what this bacon brawl is all about.
Dude, me too. And sign me up. I might start doing wrestling training just so I can get involved in a bacon brawl.
I mean, if imagine if there's a bacon world title.
The strap made of bacon, and then the front plate is a plate of bacon.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's all great.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what the trademark filing was intended to cover. I thought I saw that here.
I think it's just another, because they did the White Castle integration.
Yeah.
And I think it probably has something to do with
So it says non-electric cookware, namely pots, pans, and dishes, flatware being plates and saucers, drinkware, cups, mugs, utensils for barbecues, forks, tongs, kitchen containers, shirts, pants, t-shirts, sweatshirts, shorts, headwear. So there's going to be merch for Bacon Brawl.
Yeah, we're on it.
Prepared meals consisting primarily of meat, fish, poultry, or vegetables. That was in the filing.
Okay.
So are we gonna have AEW branded bacon?
Ideally.
Then if they do that, you gotta have the
Bacon
graphic.
Championship and the graphic.
Bacon is all elite. The Bacon Championship.
The bacon title. Yeah, I agree.
Who should be the first AEW Bacon Champion?
I got two names in mind, and they're both in the same faction. I got Samoa Joe and I got Will Hobbs. That's what I got.
Give Lance Archer something. Give him the Bacon Championship.
That's good too. That's really good. Yeah, dude, I don't know. Yeah. A lot of
questions. And hopefully you have these questions answered soon, because
ideally, yeah.
This is could potentially be the most interesting thing AEW does for the latter half of 2025 or early 2026.
Could be the most interesting thing in wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marquez says, might be late. Did you see Kenan Thompson is making a biopic about Randy Savage?
I didn't know it was Kenan Thompson.
I didn't know. Well, I did know that, but that's weird and cool and awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Kenan
Thompson. He's great.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's been on Saturday Night Live for like 50 years now.
I know. Heard that movie was in development or something, but I didn't know Kenan Thompson.
How do you get somebody to play Randy Savage?
I know, that's tough.
This is you got to wait a couple of years and do AI.
I mean, because
how do you do that?
You run the risk of finding somebody that, like with Ric Flair and Iron Claw. Whoa. You know,
Ideally, they bring that actor back for like the Mania. Was it Mania 8? Randy Savage versus Flair.
Mm-hmm.
You get that guy. Whoa.
whoa.
I don't have any other questions here.
Oh, Shavon here says guilty pleasure genre of music.
Okay, number one, name a guilty pleasure genre of music.
I can't really think of anything.
Like, here's my thing. I'm old. I don't want to disrespect anybody else's musical taste. So if there's people out there who are like, oh man, Creed. I don't know. Like, I know it's not a genre, it's a band, but like new metal.
Mm-hmm.
But like, man, people get into that shit. I don't want to be
people
like, oh,
really
you
like
like
it, not in
trash.
a sort of ironic way or a guilty pleasure type way.
Like
Some
I
people
like
are really into it.
I like a bunch of bullshit sounds that come out of that. Tom York farts out of his laptop. Does that make me hotty toddy? No, man. It's just music. It moves me.
Yeah,
I like that shit. So I don't know. I'm not gonna ascribe to that anymore, man. I'm not gonna be a snob about that shit.
no, absolutely not.
How
How about this? Let's rephrase this question. What's either a genre or some artists that you listen to that people might not expect you to listen to?
That's a
Some
great way to phrase it.
surprising musical choices.
So I will say this: there's a certain type of musical catalog, I guess, that really just brings me back to like when I was a kid. I'll give you an example. 38 Special, right?
Hold on loosely, yeah.
Yeah. And there's another one. But those there's two of their songs. The other one is something Hold On Tightly, I think. Those two songs.
Two songs are Hold On Tightly and Hold On Loosely.
No, okay, you're right though. That's stupid.
It'd be funny if they had a Hold On Loosely was such a huge hit that they released the sequel.
Dude, the other one sounds exactly like it.
I know what you're talking about though.
Caught Up in You. It's Caught Up in You. Yeah. So those two songs, my dad didn't listen to 38 Special. So it's not like I listen to them all the time. They are songs that I probably only listen to if my dad happened to have the radio on at the time, or we were at Kmart or some shit like that. Also, stuff like Eye in the Sky was Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, Alan Parsons Project, yeah.
Right. That kind of shit. There's like maybe 20 songs that I put on a playlist that like the only reason I listen to them, they don't move me really. It doesn't do anything for me emotionally. But they just bring me back.
Well, I mean, that's how they move you emotionally.
Yeah,
they bring you back to a period of time.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh, I'm thinking about this, and it's just like, no, it's just, boy, it just reminds me of being a little
comfort.
kid.
I assume that's associated.
I think so.
With
Yeah, sure.
That music,
yeah,
because you have memories and such associated with it, even just kind of feelings of a certain era.
But then I'm almost 50 years old, so it's not really that surprising that I'd be listening to a bunch of bullshit from my youth. I guess so. No, I don't know. I don't even know if that fits the question. So
I don't know either. I was just trying to find a way to rephrase the question.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to rephrase it. Because I'm like kind of all over the map. Like I'm looking at the playlist that I got right here, and it's all over the map.
Yeah, like I listen to all sorts of stuff. I mean, I guess the closest thing I could think of is going in on drives. We used to drive a pretty significant amount some summers to go on summer trips.
Mm-hmm.
My family, and so my dad would always put stuff in the tape player.
Yeah,
and so I got introduced to Neil Diamond and Roy Orbison and Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is similar in that it takes me back to a very specific time in my life. Or Little River Band, another band that for 8 months always seemed to be on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then never again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. Like I have very distinct memories of listening to some of that music.
Okay, do you want to know the weirdest thing? I can definitively say this is the weirdest thing on on the current playlist that I'm starting to build up a little bit. Because there's some normal shit. I mean, it's kind of all over the map. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been listening to Adam Ant lately, so there's some Adam Ant on there. We talked about this the other day, PM Dawn, so I put that PM Dawn song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
PM Dawn song on there. De La Soul's a magic number. That came on one of the music videos. So it's kind of random. The most random thing on here is the theme from Taxi.
Oh, you've talked about how you like that before, though.
Yeah, I know, but there's a 5-minute version of that.
Oh, wow.
Because it was an actual song that they liked better than the original song pitched for the theme from Taxi, and it's called Angela.
Interesting.
And it's like 5 minutes into the exact same thing over and over again.
Wow.
It's really no different. Yeah, but it's such a banger song.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, yeah. So that's on my playlist. I usually get to about the 3-minute mark, and then I hit next.
I could see if it's the same thing over and over.
Yeah. I don't need 5 minutes of that.
No.
But that is probably the most random thing on my playlist right now.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't typically assume TV show theme on a playlist.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun playlist to make, though.
Also, I got some. Oh yeah, there's a lot of TV bangers. I also got some Bronski Beat. You know Bronski Beat?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Small Town Boy. It's a good song.
Yeah.
Very dramatic.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, we got one more. Odd Cheese says, "Is Finn Balor considered a GOAT? And if not, what's keeping him from the title? More titles, lengthy reigns, main event matches, main event stories."
Larger general impact in the pro wrestling business. Although I guess, he is founder of Bullet Club. That's pretty huge.
I mean, you can't throw the term GOAT around for everybody. I love Finn Balor. You love Finn Balor. We love Finn Balor.
I got 3 Finn Balor shirts.
Right. That being said, we recognize, hey, sometimes it's okay for your favorites not to be considered GOATs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
fine.
Atticus says, "Come and knock on our door.
Someone's waiting for you.
His and hers. Three's companies
company
too. Isn't it hers and his and her? I don't know. There's 2 chicks, 1 dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Tripper.
Yeah.
Boy, Ritter was
Golden Girls theme is so good.
Ritter was great.
Yeah.
He was really John Ritter. He died way too young.
Yep.
Anyways, I think that's going to do it for the show today, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in. Check out if you guys want to be in on the predictions challenge. I know it's like the end of the episode. Go to patreon.com/Steven Larson. Or go to click join right here. $5. $5 help support us. You get in the predictions challenge, bonus episodes, question threads, etc., etc. Check that out. Till next time, we'll see you guys around.